figure middle age is pretty good in some respects. The need for adrenaline settles a bit, and you not only realise there are risks with riding, but you actually act on this and tame things down to suit. I shudder when I remember some of the crazy things I used to do when I was road riding. In our little group, most of us at least were sensible enough to only be a danger ourselves with our road bikes. We would keep our hooligan activities to quiet back roads and always settle down if there were other cars or bikes around. And we were probably quite tame hooligans compared to others. On our motards, we would actually stay within the speed limits, more or less, but we would push the bikes through tight twisty corners until the tyres just started to slip a little. Others, of course, were going completely nuts. Most weeks there would be a death or at least a serious injury on our favourite back road. Over the years, the police presence got so heavy, we eventually gave up on road riding. So it was interesting to see on the news last night that young guys are no longer the leading casualties in road riding deaths. It's all of us middle-aged blokes. Every weekend you can see old dogs with grey hair and nicely developed beer guts throwing their legs over sports bikes, cruisers, Harleys, and of course all the pretend Harleys. I don't think this is a bad thing. I mean, previously a middle-aged crisis meant buying a sports car and divorce your wife or your secretary. But now there are all these other options: Viagra, cosmetic surgery, and of course, motorbikes. It's just a bummer that road riding is proving to be so lethal. It's not just new riders too. It seems many of we old dogs are returning to riding after a few decades off to raise families and get our careers going. And with our rose-coloured glasses, we think we are just as skillful, fast, balanced and coordinated now as when we were 20 years old. Not true, apparently, and the rose statistics are living proof. Makes me glad I chose dirt riding for my midlife crisis. Sure, I now have 2 sets of multiple fractures. These taught me to learn my limits and get some decent protective gear. But it doesn't take a lot of brain cells to see you are far less likely to die riding adventure bikes and dirt bikes compared to road bikes. I love the challenge of off-road riding. Sure, road riding involves a lot of skill, But to me, it's essentially a corner, then a straight, then a corner, repeat several hundred times. Whereas off-road, you constantly have changing terrain, traction, unpredictable conditions, obstacles such as ruts and logs, a wealth of techniques and skills to learn. I suspect there are way more bruises and minor injuries with off-road riding, but personally, I can live with that. Middle age is an interesting time. You finally are just starting to get your head together, and then your body falls apart. You become increasingly aware of your own mortality, and a sense that time is running through your fingers. I think taking on a risky activity to relive your youth is extremely sensible, at least in our small male brains. I reckon emotional immaturity is the perfect antidote for a midlife crisis, along with a motorbike, of course. Go in peace, my brethren and sisterin.